I'm not trying to laugh over your
Sorry.
you're grading like you were being serious and trying to teach him a lesson. And I was chuckling in the background as a terrible, terrible step uncle. I don't know.
She
Wait,
was
no, yeah, we established that we're all
drinking my
uncles and
tea.
aunts and anyway. Hello and welcome to Saving People, Queering Things, the supernatural podcast where we remember that Sam had visions, even if the brothers and even the show seemingly don't. Today we're
Good
pulling
point.
up to season 7, episode 7, The Mentalists. I'm your host, Noah, pronouns he, him.
And I'm Sam. My pronouns are they, them.
And the question of the day I have for my co-host is what would your act be if you lived in this town? Like how would you, try to scam some money out of people with some
Ooh.
mentalist type abilities?
That's a good question.
Yeah, feel free to think on it for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to figure out a good, quote unquote scam, depending on how, skilled you are in this supernatural world. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that everyone out there is a scam, but I'm not saying that none of them aren't. Figure that out for yourself.
I think that I probably would be less showy. Like it wouldn't be like a whole like on stage act. I think oh my gosh, what's the granddaughter's name?
Melanie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the way that she kind of operates where she's like, oh, it's kind of a scam, but it's also like partly just observations that she's
Yeah.
making. I feel like that
Real
would be
Sean Spencer
my
vibe.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, honestly, I'd have to go with that. I would probably be a little bit more dramatic about it because
There.
I'm a dramatic person and I would put a little bit of flair to it, maybe some extra hesitation and act like I'm, hand to the temple and all Sean Spencer-ish. But
Mm,
I think there'd be a certain panache.
yeah.
Maybe some nice like strobe light effects that happen.
Yeah. The little buttons under the table.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
really cool. I would not be mad at that. I would also try my best to figure out, like, okay, it would be really interesting if you could, like, target the people that were coming in. Like, if you knew somebody was new in town, then you, like,
hmm
look them up, figure out their whole thing, and make sure your ads show up in the right spot. So then you get,
Ooh.
like, even more research on them beforehand. And then you've got a really solid baseline. And then you do the observation stuff to see what exactly they're looking for. And then you've got, like, a little bit more knowledge to work on. That might be the
That's good.
most
Sneaky.
stalker-ish I've sounded on this podcast, but hey, here we are.
This is hypothetical.
Hypothetical, of course.
Yeah.
Now that you've met your hosts for today, it's time to catch you up. If you guys haven't watched Supernatural recently, first of all, fix that. Second of all, here's what you've missed on the road so far. First up,
Yeah.
Sam is going to recap the show up to this point. Are
God.
you ready?
Never.
Broad strokes. That's all we're looking for here.
Broad strokes. Okay. A lot has fucking happened.
Oh, absolutely. Not just in this season, but in the last season and in the 5 seasons before that. It's a lot. But we're also 7 episodes or 6 episodes into this season, and there's already quite a bit going on here. I'm not looking forward to the season 10 recaps, much less the season
Ooh.
14 ones.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's going to be
Yeah,
so
we might
bad.
have to come up with a strategy for those ones.
I think they're just going to get way more frantic and
Right.
like fearful the whole time. It's going to be like, this is happening.
You get 3 or 4 words for each season.
There you go.
That's it.
John, sex, brothers, bonded.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
the first 2 seasons.
There you
Sam
go.
dead, Dean dead.
Sam dead, Dean dead. Angel?
Angel? Sexy.
All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay, I'll give you a little countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so there are these 2 brothers and they hunt supernatural monsters. And there's angels and demons, and at some point they start the apocalypse, and also both of them go to hell at different points, but they both come back, don't worry. They're very traumatized. Currently, Sam has the devil in his head, ? Dean is in love with an angel. We haven't seen him for a while. There's also Leviathans, and that's where we're at right now.
Ooh, gorgeous. Very well done. I mean, I think that's...
I miss Bobby, though.
Yeah, you didn't touch on Bobby, but that's fine. It's fine. I'm not offended or hurt at all. He can only be included in so many more recaps.
No.
No, he'll make it into all of mine. I'll be like, yes, they were raised by their real father, Bobby, and
Correct.
then they move on. Okay.
Well, now it's Noah's time to recap the episode. This week's episode. Are you ready?
You know what? I think so. I didn't make any notes about that.
I never make notes. I just wing it every time.
Smart. Get some more genuine.
Maybe. Or more frantic. Or make it more chaotic. I don't know. It's something. All right. Ready?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the Dean's following a case, then he ends up in this the most psychic town in America, and then he finds Sam there. Oh, wow, they happen to be in the same area, so they work together on the case, and it's about a pair of sisters who were acting as psychics, but one of them was actually psychic, and then they have to like find the bones, and then somebody stole the bones, and it was this guy who was selling like magic stuff to everybody else, and it's really sad, and they don't listen to the other sister who's just trying to warn people. That one hurt a little bit, and then they eventually find the bones, burn them, and save the day, and only get a few people killed.
Nice. Well done. That was good.
Yeah, I feel like I hit a lot of the points.
Yeah, I think you covered most of it.
That was not bad. Okay. Well, now that we've got you all caught up, it is time for this week's hunt. Today we are pulling up to Season 7, Episode 7, The Mentalists, through the theme of self-discipline, which was a very interesting theme that I put in my notes and was like, yes, make as many references to this as possible. And then a lot of my notes didn't have a lot to do with it. So
I agree. I was like, this is an interesting theme. And then I couldn't relate it really back to much.
I think the way it relates best is the way that Sam is trying to stick to his guns about staying separate from Dean. Like when Dean first finds him, he sits down at the table and Sam hides the folder under the table. Like he's like, I'm not even going to share information about this case. So he's trying to like stick to that. And then he's kind of being, standoffish the whole half of the episode towards Dean and trying to push him away further and further, which, is not the worst plan out there because Dean did some bad stuff to a friend of Sam's. And like, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think also like Dean is also kind of being a dick about it.
Oh, for sure.
To begin with, like Sam is upset. He's clearly upset. He has a valid reason to be upset. And Dean is just like walks up and is making jokes and is acting like everything is normal. And I feel like if Dean had approached it more gently, then Sam may have not been as defensive and standoffish the whole time.
Totally fair. If he had come up and been like, hey, I know I fucked up. I am sorry. I was following my gut. I didn't like lying to you. Like basically the conversation they have at the end of the episode.
Right. Exactly.
Started with that, which obviously, Dean's got some trauma from
We don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Talk about our feelings. What?
Yes. They hate that shit. But once they go to the psychic museum, and then, first of all, we get a Campbell family reference.
Oh my gosh.
Queer icons live in their ancestry. Amazing. That's pretty cool. That's some good stuff to hold on to. Not as strong. I don't like as much the fact that the guy said it to them while clearly implying that he assumed that they were gay because they said they were, well, I don't know if they told him they were brothers, but he was very clearly implying that so y'all are
alternative lifestyle. Wink wink.
Which we should move on from the incest jokes, please. Please.
Right? Can we get over it now?
They're so annoying.
They're not funny.
It's not a big win for the Wincesties, no matter what any of our other podcast crew might joke about, but you'll never hear it because they always get cut out. Anyway, but just as important, the psychic host guy says my family has we got a little hint of psychic power in my bloodline, and then he grabs Dean before he leaves and he says, oh, hey,
oh my God,
do you know somebody by the name of Ellen? And I was like, what? And then I was like, he's got to be faking. That's a pretty common name. I get maybe. And she says, if you don't tell someone how bad it really is, she'll kick your ass from beyond. I was like, that's Ellen.
Yeah,
that's her
Ellen.
right there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Which to me implies that, a few episodes we saw Joe. And I want to believe that when Joe made it back up to heaven, she shared her experience with Ellen and was like, hey, this is some shit that's happening. happening. I tried to convince Dean that he wasn't like responsible for what happened to us, but didn't seem like he was feeling it.
Yeah.
And so then Ellen was like keeping tabs on them and trying to reach out. And then they went to the psychic town and she was like, oh, okay, this is good. I'll just blast this message out as hard as I can. Because obviously she's not a spirit. She wouldn't hang around. Her unfinished business died before she did. And that hurt a lot.
Right.
But like, she's not a spirit hanging around, but she could reach out. Because if anybody would be powerful enough to reach out from heaven to send a message to the brothers,
Oh, yeah.
Ellen, for sure.
She's determined.
Yeah. Ash is also like up on that list because he would like know how to work the system.
Yeah.
But Ellen is like, oh, Rufus could also probably do it. But it wouldn't necessarily be to the brothers, it would be to Bobby. So
true. Yeah.
Ellen would be the one taking care of the boys.
Yeah.
But all of that leading to Dean actually having a bit of heart to heart with Sam was beautiful. And I loved it because just last episode when the brothers broke up again, I was pretty livid because I need them to be together for the next 2 episodes at least so they can comfort each other.
Yeah.
Or the next 3 episodes, I guess. 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
It's good that they are back together. I want to go a little bit back though to before when they were talking about before they like have the heart to heart when they're kind of like still arguing.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting the language that they are both using around Amy because Sam says, "You killed my friend." And Dean says, "I put down a monster."
Like it was a mercy.
Who killed people.
Yeah.
Like Dean doesn't say, "Oh yeah, I killed Amy." He says, "I put her down." And that's the language they use around like monsters. But Sam is like not viewing Amy as a monster.
Which
He's
is
viewing
interesting
Amy as his friend.
because like, okay, I guess it relies on the definition of monster in their eyes, you know? Like having a monster is a creature that has no saving grace to a certain extent in their eyes. But Sam had reached that point and had already like made that connection with Amy and was like, no, yeah, she's definitely like, she's got some good in her. She's not all evil like monsters are.
Yeah.
But Dean never had that. He just had somebody who he felt like was manipulating his brother a little bit.
Right.
Like
using and he was also like because he doesn't have that emotional connection, he's just doing his hunting as normal. He's like, she's a monster who killed people. And what do we do to monsters who kill people? Like this is just he's not really thinking about it as like the emotional side that Sam has.
Yeah.
He's just doing his job.
Which if that was purely the case, you would think that he would take care of the kid too, right? Like that would logically fall in line.
Yeah, that was weird.
But they don't mention the kid at all this episode.
No.
Sam never asks. He never tries to be like, well, did you let the kid survive? Because like, I feel like that would be a sticking point for this argument if Sam was like, well, so you killed her kid too? Because if you were just hunting monsters, then you hunted both of them, right?
Right.
And then if Dean's like, well, no, I didn't. And he's like, well, why not? He's like, because he's just a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then Sam can be like, well, she was just protecting her child. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it would not have like that choice that Dean made, his lack of self-discipline, if that's what our theme is this week, that would have made this argument a lot worse, but they don't even mention it at all.
Right.
Which I feel like was some plot convenience from the writers because they realized if they like wrote that argument, they wouldn't
everything falls apart.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to stay in where they end at the end of the episode, you know?
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I did very much like the setting of this episode, though. You know, a little psychic town in New York where a lot of the commerce seems to be around psychics and in many different forms and formats. And we never saw like a tarot reading house, but we saw.
No, I mean, it looked like when they were like walking through the town, there were some tables that they had walked by where there were some cards laid out. But you're right. We never like enter into.
We saw the crystal ball. We saw bones being read. We saw we had a hint of palm reading, but that wasn't really, it was kind of a joke at the end.
That was a joke. Yeah.
There's a lot of representation. That one, I feel like that one's just mental. Like he's claiming telepathy with the spoon bending.
Right. I mean, that was from was that from the guy that was
the Russian guy that gets killed?
Oh, right, the Russian guy. Yeah.
But me personally, I'm a pretty big fan of psychic representation, whether or not it is a sham or genuine, because it sort of leads me right into my mixtape suggestion for this week. I picked The Best Man Lies by the Friendly Indians, which you may know as the theme song to the TV show Psych. Oh, crazy.
Very good.
It's a very good show, and I love it very much. And I couldn't not pick the main theme to a show about a guy who pretends to be psychic because he just has really advanced observational skills and uses that to solve crimes. So yeah, that's where I'm at. The brother should have called Sean Spencer in for this one from across the country. It would have been fine.
Very good. Love that. My mixtape pick is Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead. And it just talks about like having fake things and being kind of fake and how it like wears you out, kind of pretending.
Okay, damn.
I thought that was interesting.
That's pretty fitting. Yeah. Shit, I'm gonna have to pull that one up after we finish it. Oh, another huge shout out that we got this episode. I mean, it wasn't that huge, but it was like one that I loved. When they're talking, the brothers are talking at the beginning of the episode, like, well, when was the last time we saw a real psychic? First of all, Sam, you are right here. You've had visions. You've had.
Yeah, they really don't.
They don't mention that at all.
They really
Sam's the one asking, but they do shout out Pamela. They were like, "Oh, Pamela, right? Back in wherever, Missouri, I don't remember." But R.I.P. Pamela. She was great. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I do love getting the nod to her in season 7. 3 seasons after she got killed off.
Yeah,
that was like season 4, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
brutal. But we love to hear that the brothers remember her, even if they don't remember Sam's abilities.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Selective memory.
Yeah,
it's interesting that they are in this psychic town while they are at odds with each other.
Ooh.
And how several people are like reading them that way.
Like, so what's going on with y'all
very
two?
Clear that there's some tension.
Yep.
And reading them specifically too, like one of them was like, oh, there's a lot of tension here, like you're pissed and you're stressed. And then later on someone says to Sam that he's like dealing with a loss.
Yeah, having to process loss. Which is like, okay, good guess, I guess. Maybe you've got some latent psychic abilities, or maybe it's just all over my face.
Right.
Which it is a lot of the time whenever they're together. At least in the first half of the episode.
Yeah.
I also love Dean's his alias this episode. He chose Agent Bourne, as in Jason fucking Bourne. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. That's the only thing I could think of the whole episode. It was fine. And I don't think they ever say Sam's. They just refer to him as Agent. And I'm a little salty about that because I want to know what they would have picked.
Yeah, that is too bad. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. If you're gonna pick Bourne, then you might as well go with like Agent Hunt. Like Jason Bourne and Ethan Hunt going together. Like that would be pretty cool. But nope, we went right on past it.
We just glossed by.
How do you feel about the setup of the Ghost Sisters, where one of them is trying to warn the targets and the other one is killing them brutally?
I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
Also, the way that they describe the pictures, the sisters in the picture.
Yeah.
They automatically, Sam and Dean automatically assume that the sister that the history person describes as troubled, that she's the one that's killing people, which is actually not true.
Which is wild. I wonder if that's like a historic perspective being skewed in a certain way, or if it's accurate, but that was like the show that they were putting on back in the day, because they've been dead for like, 80 years minimum.
Right.
I don't remember if they said exactly how long, but they've been gone for a while. And it'd be interesting to know if like how they were when they were alive. Like if we got a flashback to their show to see how different they were.
Well, I mean, when he's describing them in the picture, he says one of the sisters that is quite mentally troubled, but she was the one that was more legit, or like that, like she was like could levitate things and like was kind of the whole show, and the other sister was like it was more tricks. Yeah, I wonder if the reason why that's the sister who's killing people, she's being controlled, and when the person who's controlling her is like, oh, she likes it, she likes killing for me. Ooh. I wonder if that's because she's finally like, oh, this is actually real
She's
now.
finally like the star of the
She's
show.
like, now I have, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that take. Huh. And then
Yeah, because they never really explain, because sometimes with spirits, they explain why they're killing and why they're doing that, but they don't really explain, like they find out that she's being controlled.
Yeah.
But they don't explain why she
loved it.
Liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. And props to the actress. She was really showing that the spirit was enjoying the whole thing. That was
oh my God.
Creepy and unsettling.
I was
really like, oh, okay. No, thank you, please. But
let me smile while I kill you. That's not disturbing at all.
It wasn't like a Cheshire Cat smile. It was like it was a deep smile. Like, oh, it was wild. I was unsettled. Yeah. If I got a vision of her coming at me at any point, I would be anti that. I would be no thank you.
Sam and Jean, please help me.
Please. I can find your number. I live just a couple 2 hours away from the family business. I'd know who to talk. But it really hurt whenever the one sister, like, they were going to burn her bones because they assumed she was the problem, and then she's just trying to get them to listen with her words.
My God, and they don't even hear her out.
Yeah, everybody else, she gave them a vision, didn't try to speak to them. With the brother, she tries to speak to them, but it's already too late. They're not listening. Yeah, I wonder if she had if either she had given the brothers a vision of like her sister doing the kills, like maybe that would have helped, or if she had spoken to Camille and been like, hey, my sister is going to come kill you at 2:00 this morning. Like, you gotta watch out. Like, if she had like said, I don't know, it seems like she was coming about this the creepiest way possible.
Right. If she can't, because like initially you're like, okay, maybe she can't speak. Maybe that's why she's giving visions instead. But she does speak to Sam and Dean. So it's like,
maybe it's something about like if her bones are unearthed, then she can speak. Because she's like exposed to air or whatever. Yeah. But they should have explained that at some point if they wanted us to just assume that. But it was interesting, and it did hurt a lot that nobody listened to her. They burned her without a second thought. Yep. And as soon as she said, like, just listen to me, why won't anybody listen? I was like, oh, that.
And she's not attacking them either.
No. Well, wait. Not until they like light the match. Right. Like, she comes up to them, pushes Sam away from the fire. Like, he was going to light a match, pushes him away. Right. And then Dean's lighter doesn't work. And so she's like, okay, wait, let's talk. And then Sam gets back up with the match. But hopefully this is a little lesson that the brothers can take and, grow from here. Maybe we should listen to some spirits, hear them out a little bit before we take the kill shot on them. Right. Especially because it got somebody killed. Like, that sucks a lot of it. Yeah. Obviously, like, it wasn't someone they knew and cared about, but it was an innocent person that they were responsible for in the end. Like, yeah, that's not a win. Yeah. I hated that Bobby only got mentioned this episode, but we didn't actually see him answering the phone. We didn't see them on the phone with him. Like, it was just like, oh, so maybe we should call Bobby. And then Sam shows up with a list that he obviously got from Bobby. Right. But still.
Yeah, unfortunate.
What was unfortunate is that it leads to Sam busting in, guns drawn, into a Lamaze class.
So funny.
So good.
I love that clip.
Yeah, it's so good. They're all like, oh my God, wait, no. And then as soon as he leaves, they're right back to it. No hesitation.
Yeah, they're like, just continue.
Let's keep going.
Not that phase.
It reminds me of that one time when Sam busted into some like bank office, I think, and like threatens the people and then like says or throws some holy water on them or says Latin, and then they like don't react and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I'm just gonna go, actually. Sorry. My bad. Yeah. Bye. Same vibes. Yeah. Except same one vibe. Which was a little worse because there's like a bunch of pregnant women and their partners, and not great. Yeah. Not great vibes.
I mean, he like is respectful once he figures it out. He's like, yeah. The lady's like, this is a Lamaze class, I swear. He's like, I believe you. I'm going. So sorry. Traumatized people.
How suspicious of a Lamaze class would it have to have been for him not to believe her? Right. Like, there's some, a ritual set up on the ground, and like there's some blood painted on the walls, maybe.
Yeah, there's some bones or something.
It would have to be pretty suspect for him to look around and see a bunch of pregnant couples and be like, actually, I'm still gonna point my gun at you.
Yeah. I mean, he like realizes pretty quick. Like
Yeah.
the brothers know what suspicious altars look like. Like you see him look at the altar and then immediately be like, "Wait a minute,
I'm in the wrong house.
oh shit,
I should leave
this is not
here
a threat."
ASAP. Fuck. It was pretty
Hilarious.
fucking funny though. Which
Yep.
then leading into when Sam figures out it's the store owner and him busting into his, back room, his back warehouse, whatever, and having two guns, which is pretty clear from the fact that he comes into that warehouse with a different gun than he had in the Lamaze scene, 5 minutes earlier. He has
Right.
like a revolver this time instead of his
Oh.
pistol, M1911, whatever. And so the fact that he knew that the store owner might get the drop on him and might get the gun out of his hand and let him do that to make him feel more comfortable so Sam could take a shot when he knew he had an opening. That's pretty fucking good self-discipline right there. Like not hiding behind the safety of a weapon in your hand, letting somebody else think they have the high ground. That was pretty fucking clever.
Interesting.
I liked that move. It did put Dean in a pretty uncomfortable position because he got pretty close to getting his ass whooped and another innocent person killed. But they made it there just in time.
They made it.
Whew. Okay, wait. Can we talk about where the bones were for a minute?
Oh my god, that's so creepy.
It's so creepy.
What?
Do you think that was his personal bed or like a guest bed?
I hope not. I mean, the place was pretty small. I don't know if there was another bed in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did he
also,
sleep
he
on
was
the
like,
couch?
he called it the bedroom.
Oh, he did say the bedroom.
Ugh.
Fuck. Which, okay.
No.
I mean, we gotta give props to Dean for his little comment.
Oh my gosh, that was.
I can't believe he was boning her. Fucking this man. Oh,
that was funny though.
He's so funny.
I appreciated that.
I love it so much. But it's still fucking gross. And hey, just a personal note to anybody out there who wants to use bones to, grasp power. Don't put them in your bed. Don't sleep with them. Put them somewhere else, please. Anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you grasping power from old powerful bones, but don't do it in your bed.
Yeah, that's too far. Crossing a line.
Please. You can bone in your bed. I'm not trying to say don't do that, but like not old human bones. Okay, whatever.
Bones. Yeah. There's a difference.
Oh God, do you think oh no.
No. We're not going too far down that road.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Okay, let's talk about the conversation they have at the end.
Moving on. I want to mention before we talk about their conversation though, like when they're in the diner for the last time and the waiter comes over and Dean is like, if you affirm me again, I will punch you in the face.
And he hesitates for a long time.
He's like,
looking back and forth. Coffee. Okay.
But then Sam just gives him a look like he'll do it.
He's like, yeah.
This is not a joke.
I'm not defending him.
All right.
I'm just trying to let you know this is real.
Yeah.
And Dean calls him like a fortune cookie when he walks away. He's like, that guy's a damn fortune cookie. I swear.
Oh man, yeah.
This and then pretty fun episode. I'm not gonna lie, but yes.
Oh yeah, it was. I liked this episode.
It was both a fun episode and it was also a really emotionally strong episode.
Yeah, I feel like they did a good job of having the comedy and the real moments.
Yeah, both with the villains, quote unquote, and the victims and the brothers between each other. It was a pretty solid balance. Phenomenal, right? Who wrote this episode? I feel like I recognize the name.
Good question. Is it Gamble?
Might be. Oh, one of the writers of this episode was Eric Kripke. No, sorry. Created by, I don't know why they include him in the writing credits, Ben Acker and Ben Blacker, which I think is just the same guy.
Two Bens?
And then if you just add the BL to the first one. This is the guy and his ghostwriter name. That's interesting. And this is the only episode that Ben Blacker has written.
Oh.
Ben Acker also one episode. They came in for this episode, they killed it, and then they never came back.
Wow, that's odd.
I wonder if they wrote on the movie. No, that's pretty weird. Because I thought this was a really strong episode.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, now sorry. Not to say that these two guys are the same people, but their IMDb credits are almost identical. Wait, okay, so if we start from the beginning. If we start from the
That's
beginning,
strange.
this is Acker on this page, right? And we've got
Mm.
Switcheroo in 2008, and then Drones, and then two podcast series called The Thrilling Adventure Hour. We go back to Ben Blacker, Switcheroo, Drones, The Thrilling Adventure Hour. And then we got Super Ninjas, Supernatural, Thrilling Adventure Hour Live. Go back, Super Ninjas, Supernatural. They're the same person. There's no way they're not. They just got double paid for this. Straight up, The Adventures of Puss in Boots, Cut and Run, Ted Danson and his friends from work. Oh, Acker did this Duckburg Life, which Blacker did not do. That's so wild. They're the same guy.
That is really weird.
Until we see them both in the same room, I refuse to believe they're not. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. The conversation at the end of the episode. Break it down.
Oh my God. Finally, we get some honesty from these two.
From both of them.
I was impressed at Dean.
Yeah, Dean handled it really well.
Yeah.
He said, ever since Cast, I'm having a hard time trusting anybody.
Which I feel like is the most honest that he has been in a long time.
Very much so. And him admitting that he's handling it poorly, I wasn't handling everything right. And I think part of that was because I felt bad lying to you. Like, I want to be on the same page with you. And when we're not, like, that causes me physical stress and pain. And I don't know how to handle that the best way. Mm-hmm. And Sam coming back at him, like, fair enough. I get that. I've been there. Let's do better.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty good. Like, this is a solid ass conversation. This is what I yell for at the end of every episode. I'm like, just talk to each other, please. And then they did. It was good.
And then they drive off together.
Not in Baby, which still hurts.
Not in Baby, no.
That's another thing. They get recognized from the news a few weeks earlier.
Oh, that was funny.
That was pretty cool.
Their response to that was hilarious too.
Like, oh, no. We get this all the time. It's not us though. And then the lady
got put down like the dogs that they were.
The lady's like, oh, I knew it. You guys have such gentle auras.
Oh, I know. They're like, okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, hilarious.
It was pretty good. Overall, like a 9 out of 10 episode, I think.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree. I really like this episode.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they are back together now.
Oh, God, me too. We'll see how long that shit lasts.
Yeah.
Never lasts for long.
Yeah, well.
Here's hoping. Alrighty, now it's time to move on into our final and some would say favorite section of the episode, our character blessings. Sam, who would you like to bless this episode? Hard choice. A lot of good options.
It's a hard choice. I think I would like to bless Melanie, the granddaughter.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think she's been through a lot and she really handled it quite well.
Yeah.
And I hope that she is able to be okay.
Yeah, good pick. My blessing this week is going to have to go to Kate, the sister who was not listened to.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to save all those people who got killed. She was just trying to save people and nobody was listening to her or couldn't understand her in the way that she needed to be understood. And that hurts a lot. And
yeah.
Sometimes you go through stuff like that and it's very frustrating whenever people can't come to you on your level when you're just trying to help in the best way you know how.
Yeah.
So blessings to Kate. Oh, and Bobby, because he helped out the brothers this week and I love him so much and I'm going to bless him as long as I can. Okay.
All right. Fair.
Well, that brings us right to the end of this week's episode. Whew, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on, Sam. This was a fantastical episode. I had a great time.
I agree. Me too.
Anytime we want to come on and talk about more ways that I can talk about Psych and The Mentalist, the TV show, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes on a lot more.
Well, if you liked what you heard today, make sure that you are subscribed to Saving People Queering Things wherever you listen to your podcast and to share our show with your friends. You can also join our free Discord server and find links to our socials and catch up on our season mixtapes. And that is all on our website, queeringthingspodcast.com.
Oh, also, in case you missed it, our crew has started along on a queer D&D adventure along with KJ of Supernatural Opinions. We call it Queering People Saving Throws, and it's releasing every other Friday, give or take, right here on our feed. It's a really great time, and I think we're coming pretty close to the end of this first story arc. So make sure to tune in for that if you want to figure out where where the characters are going. I'm excited.
Yeah, amazing. Also, be sure to ride along with us next week as we explore season 7, episode 8, season 7, Time for a Wedding, through the theme of consent, which I'm really excited for.
I'm very curious about who the wedding's
It's
for, what's
hilarious
happening.
episode.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming along for the ride, and we wish you a peaceful road until we meet again.